Yes, sir. So the WNBA is just gonna have to take another L because its quote unquote superstar makes a story about body shaming. You're supposed to be a superstar. Imagine watching ESPN, bros. You turn it on in the morning and you hear a story about Zion Williamson replying in tweets talking about people need to stop talking about his body. People need to stop worrying about the cheeseburgers that he's eating and worry about themselves, worry about their insecurities. Imagine hearing a story about that. Yet, these are the creatures that keep talking, keep bitching and complaining, talking about equal pay, equality, wanting to be treated the same, wanting to be paid the same as men. And it's laughable. But it's not about that. This is about the hypocrisy of the liberal black woman in the liberal media. The media is the chief enabler to their behavior, and that's why they're finished. They won't understand it until it's too late. They're that crack dealer that keeps giving them that last piece of rock, understanding that it's fucking them up, killing them slowly, but they don't give a damn. Bros will understand. You see these females day in and day out on the media. They throw tantrums. They talk a lot of shit, yet they still living the same life, still bitching, still complaining, still liberal, still toxic. But they feel like they could go ahead and talk on the media with no filter. Bros know in their gut that a good amount of these women are full of shit. Everything that they do is for attention. We got biracial beauties like Liz Cambage, who's fucked up mentally already because she doesn't know which side she wants to go with. She wants to talk about this quote unquote white man. Yet on the flip side, she has a quote unquote white mother. We're supposed to care about the divine feminine, fellas. It's not about you anymore. The society is about killing masculinity left and right. They don't give a fuck about your feelings, mental health. Anything you reply is toxic, misogynistic, homophobic. The list goes on. If you don't support homosexuality, you're done. But you gotta go with all of their whims, all of their beliefs. So simps, beta males like the guy that's narrating this video are the issue. They're the one telling all these females, yes, you can. And bros on the flip side are telling them, no, you shouldn't. Which side do you feel like they're going to go with? When you got a bad babysitter that's letting the child do whatever the fuck they want in those 4 to 5 hours that they're watching the child, is the child going to get any better or is he going to get worse or she?
If there's one thing about me is that I will never let a man disrespect me.
So we're going to have to jump in right now. Just off the strength, she should just say, I'm not going to let anyone disrespect me. But specifically, she wants to point out, I'm not going to let a man disrespect me. That's all it's about. What about the women? Liz, what about the females? This is why casual fans, anybody that might be attracted to a female, are tuning out and doing other activities, watching other shows, other entertainment. Who's tuning in to super toxic liberal females?
Las Vegas Aces star Liz Cambage.
Ever, especially a little white one. So to the coach of Connecticut, I'm sorry, little sir man, I do not know your name. But the next time you try to call out a referee, trying to get a call being like, come on, she's 300 pounds. I'm gonna need you to get right, baby, because I'm 6'8". I just double checked, because I love to be correct and get facts. I'm weighing 235 pounds and...
Wow. So the man just went off of a guesstimate and he was over by 65 pounds. Yet this is a story. Yet this is body shaming. Yet you want to call him a little white man, but you have a white mother. Does this make any sense? The man that's narrating this video is a quote unquote white man. Does that make any sense to you, bro? We just got to see the hypocrisy for what it is. These people that support this agenda that you could do whatever you want, you could be whatever you want, are mentally ill. They don't want to talk about that.
I'm very proud of being a big bitch.
And
if you were very proud, you wouldn't have to make a video talking about how you are very proud. If you go on this female's IG or whatever she's on, all she's doing is showing her body. Is the woman that's showing her body every chance she gets, is she insecure or is she confident? For the most part, they're insecure. Be real. The good looking ones are the most insecure, searching for attention every single day. Is it worth it? All these lingerie photos. She's so confident, but she has to join OnlyFans for subscribers, wanting to influence wannabe or upcoming Ted Bundys. But these females get a high off that, but they're not insecure. You want to talk about the man's height. The man might be a little man. We already know short guys get a bad rep. They're already fighting a losing battle to begin with. They don't want to jump on apps. What's in the first 3 lines? No guys under 5'5". You know what I'm saying? But then on the flip side, if you say no woman over 250, now you're fat shaming. But what about the men's height? They don't care about your feelings, bro. And the media is going along with the woman because they're a bunch of bitches and beta males. It is what it is.
Well, she's defending herself.
It's a personal subject to me.
Against Connecticut Sun head coach Kurt Miller, who body shamed her.
So don't ever try to disrespect me or another woman in the league. I don't know if that's how, like, coaches run. Like, you try to disrespect women like that from the sideline. Anyway, to that.
So he disrespected you by saying that you were 300 pounds. So he was over by 65 pounds just off of a guess in the heat of a game, saying, come on, she's 300 pounds. Yet, you're 235. Bro's got to understand the mental capacity of these females is just not there. But I get it. Bros are still going to chase that vagina.
Little man, like, whole little, tiny, like.
Wow. So you still want to go at the man's height, his body size, but he's insecure. But he's body shaming. If you go through the list of videos on this female, she's just a big bully. So yeah, she's just a big bitch in the league. They all want to dish but can't take. They want to say whatever they want, no filter attached. But men gotta watch what they say. Hold your tongue. Don't be toxic. Don't be misogynistic on this side.
Where is you? Stop trying to project your insecurities, baby. Pick up the phone, call the psych, because you're projecting some bullshit now.
He's the one projecting, but according to reports, you're the one that wanted to take a break from the Olympics for mental health. So how serious is mental health? Is it just a charade? Is it shenanigans for dollars? People got to ask these questions. Do these celebrities care about you, or do they care about their image, how they're portrayed, if they say the right things, if they tickle your ears?
And next time you try to disrespect me, remember, I'm 235. It might seem like 300 pounds to your little ass. I'm 235, baby.
So Liz does not shut up and dribble. She exposes Miller for what he did to embarrass.
Nah, really, if you want to be real, she's just exposing herself and projecting her insecurities on this man. And bros, you'll recognize females on your timeline, toxic females. You already know that they are supporting behavior like this. They might repost it from one of those little black gossip sites, some bullshit like that. And then they want to say, I know that's right. All of that fuck shit. Is it worth it for you to try to get into a civil conversation? Not at all. Not worth it at all. She still wants to bully the man. Talk about, it might be 300 pounds to your little ass. Yet, he's the one that's insecure. He's the one that's making a tirade about it. All he did was make a reference. 65 pounds, overweight. But yet, they want to attack this man. Just enabling the super toxic liberal black woman to say anything that's on her mind with no repercussion, no thought of anybody else. It's all about her. She's the one directing the movie, editing the scenes, doing it all. She could do it all. She does no wrong.
And subject Liz to. So what exactly did Miller say that had a cause and effect of Cambage speaking out. In an Instagram story, Cambage said that Miller tried to get a call from one of the officials during Sunday's game between the Aces and Sun. According to Cambage, Miller said, "Come on, she's 300 pounds."
Yo, bros, man, how many times you go to your local YMCA or LA Fitness and you hear somebody say, big body, mouse in the house? How many times do we hear this? Bird chest, whatever it may be. That's part of the game. That's part of the game. Yet, these are the same creatures that want to be treated equally as the players that participate in the NBA. L after L.
The WNBA validated this claim from Liz, suspending Miller one game from coaching and fining him $10,000.
Wow. So when we want to talk about equality, bros, we got to understand it's not equality. It's preferential treatment. It's that snobby kid that's entitled, that's never been told no their entire life. It's preferential treatment. You could go to the nightclub, bros, if you hit in the club or the bar this weekend. It's a line going around the corner. There's a group of 3 to 4 to 5 bad chicks. Have you ever seen them go to the front of the line when you know they're about to get in? Have you ever seen them say, no, we're not going to go in unless you let these 5 girls that were sitting here in the line before us? To this day, Deontay Wilder voice, to this day, we will never see that happen because they don't even believe in equality. They don't believe in half the shit they be talking about. So, bros, you feel it in your gut. They just want dudes to tell them to shut the fuck up sometimes. Or just mind your business. Let them kill themselves slowly as they're doing on a day-to-day basis. This man got fined $10,000 in a league that's losing money every single year. You know that's a hard hit to the pockets. The league is not generating any revenue. The league is getting patronized by the NBA. But they want to fine the man $10K, suspend him 1 game for making a comment about the woman being 300 pounds, 65 pounds over her actual weight in the paint. Yet, these are the same creatures that want to march, bitch, and complain about equality.
Released a statement saying, during last night's game while arguing a call with an official, I made an inappropriate and offensive comment in reference to Liz Cambage's height and weight. I regret what I said in the heat of the moment and want to sincerely apologize to Liz and the...
And this is the problem, man. This is what makes men in today's world, majority that are in the limelight, look like bitches, aka Will Smiths. When you want to say what you meant, it was in the heat of the moment. You were 65 pounds over your guess, and then you want to apologize for PR and not stand by what you mean. This is why super liberals, everybody on the left, hated Trump, because he never apologized.
Aces organization. Jennifer Rosati, in her second month as president of the Sun, issued a statement for the team Monday night. In no way do we condone any behavior or speech that is disparaging towards another person, she said. Curtis apologized for his mistake and understands.
So the man said that this female was 65 pounds over her weight. And we're talking about in no way do we condone any behavior or speech that is disparaging towards another person. You got to be fucking kidding me. This is where we are when it comes to sensitivity. Offensive comment about the Las Vegas Aces star. This is supposed to be a star in your league, and this is a story on ESPN, CNN. Even though you meant what you said, bro, you got to apologize because you hurt her feelings. Does that make it any better? You know it's the truth. Truth hurts. But that's not the point of this story. The point is this. There's no fucking way people are going to be tuning into the WNBA more after this story. The league is full of super toxic liberal females. And 95% of them are lesbians. That's neither here nor there.
The gravity of his words. However, the most ridiculous responses.
Just to kind of close the point on white privilege, I highly encourage every single person to reject it completely.
I highly encourage that same shit. You could go on social media right now, bros. You can see these toxic liberal black females always talking about race. You went to high school, middle school. With these females, you never heard a drip come out of their mouth about race, about how black men are treated by the police. Now, all of a sudden, these women hit their 30s and on. Now they want to talk about race. Now everything is about trolling, talking about white privilege, white supremacy. And yet, if you come with an idea that opposes all of the bullshit and trash that they've been talking about, they're going to reply with an attitude. They're going to reply with masculinity. You do you and I do me. Bros, it's not worth it.
Have come from this camp. The Connecticut Post's Jeff Jacobs wrote in his piece, so I'm going to say it. What Liz Cambage said in return to Kurt Miller was racist, and she needs to apologize or be disciplined by the WNBA. If she doesn't care what a white man thinks, perhaps she'll listen to some needed words from a white woman, league commish Kathy Engelbert.
I'm with you, Jeff Jacobs. And we need men that have common sense to say what they know is right. Y'all see these females on the internet throwing tantrums every day. Y'all know they saying a bunch of bullshit. Y'all know it's all cap. But nobody wants to say the truth anymore. Nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings. Does that make it right? She doesn't care about what a white man says. Yet this female has a quote-unquote white mother. She says that she would never want to be disrespected by a man. What about woman? These females just don't make any sense for the most part.
Doug Gottlieb, who really looks like a profound Trump supporter, also chimed in.
You can't say, I'm proud to be a big girl, whatever. And she didn't say big girl, but whatever. And then when he goes over the top with his comments, you suddenly act like you're so offended by it.
So here he is, a dude that ripped Andrew Luck for retiring because in Duggo's eye,
this is what liberals always do when they want you to look at somebody in a different light. They paint an image of them so you could get enraged in your emotions. So if you're automatically on the side of Liz Cambage on this because you feel like she got body shamed, who is this guy to say anything about her weight? Meanwhile, he was just over 65 pounds, but still, who is he? If you're one of those people, you got to understand that your emotions are just being used against you. You're not thinking logically. You're not really using your rationale when it comes to these stories that are just there to trigger you. Doug Gottlieb said regular shit that a man would say. She says that she's offended by what the man said, yet she verbally assaulted the man about his height, his size, calling him a little man, yet the media that are the chief enablers to the behavior of majority of these females says that that's all right. You exposed them. Does that make any sense at all?
rehabbing is too hard for millennials, to which Troy Aikman, rarely outspoken, eviscerated the failed ex-ESPN broadcaster. Tori.
Bros, when you always get into a conversation with liberal females and they disagree with what you say, let's say you might be having a debate, they always pull something up from left field just to try to support their argument. We're talking about Liz Cambage, the Connecticut Sun coach, body weight, body shame. What the fuck does Doug Gottlieb making a comment about Andrew Luck have to do with this story? They do this all the time. You could be making a comment about this situation, yet the female that you're talking about, just because she may be losing the argument in her eyes, now she has to pull something that has nothing to do with the conversation, but just because it's in the ballpark in her eyes, she's going to bring it up. Never fails.
Smith added on to it, writing, "You stole credit cards because working was too hard." Gottlieb praised Trump for winning the player protests. You know, the one where black athletes said racism is bad and cops shooting.
Another tactic by the liberal media. They talking about Doug Gottlieb. They painting the image of him. They want to talk about Trump. We already know that pro-blacks, we already know that woke warriors hate Trump with a passion, even though they love him on the flip side, because that's all they're looking for, acceptance from their daddy. Another story. They want to paint this man, call him a Trump supporter. They want to say that he supported this agenda. He's going against basically the whole narrative of this video, saying that Liz Cambage is a hypocrite for her response and the way that she conducted herself. A blind man could see that if you have common sense. They want to paint this picture. Use your emotions because they already know that you're getting enraged. You're looking at this guy like he supports Trump. Fuck him. He says something about black women. Oh, you're already looking at him negative. Liberal females and males fall for this shit every day. These niggas that think just like bitches are just as terrible as the females, bro. And they all gotta go. But they won't get it until it's too late. Their emotions get used against them day in and day out. They're trolling the Caucasians on their timeline. Meanwhile, they have co-workers that they have beers with and drinks at happy hour with. Their bosses are Caucasian. They are not buying any plane tickets to go anywhere anytime soon. But they want to talk about the same shit day in and day out, bro.
Innocent minorities is bad.
It's no different than the women's national soccer team. You know, this is no different than when a woman runs for president. We do see the hypocrisy to it, right? Like everybody understands it.
Indeed, Doug. Indeed, we do. Joe Neeson wrote, what Miller said about Cambage takes the everyday callousness of...
Joe Neeson, a super toxic blondie that goes by she, her as if we don't already know that. That lets you know all you need to know.
Sports one step further. It wasn't trash talk, not even close. It had sharper barbs, more insidious implications. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, rates of eating disorders in women are twice that of men. For men, size often equates to power, but for women, it's usually portrayed as a stain on our character. We are better if we are smaller. When I was 12, I barely ate for several months to try to deflate a set of chubby cheeks and look more like the faces smiling from magazine covers at the grocery store. So I can't help but think of all the 12-year-olds watching today who see Liz Cambage and hear Kurt Miller and wonder what they should believe.
Let's be honest and let's be real. For one, 12-year-olds are definitely not watching Liz Cambage. And for two, for the most part, 12-year-olds and up, they could hear what was said to Liz Cambage going to their local YMCA. Going to the park, hearing mouse in the house, baby arms, bird chest, big boy, big guy. They hear this shit every other day. But you know what dudes do? They ball harder, they don't pay it any attention, or they give a reply and keep it pushing. Yet, these are the same creatures that are talking about equality, being treated equally to men. This creature got this man fined $10K and suspended for a game. But he's the man that's insecure. Fuck his feelings. Fuck his bill. Fuck what he had to say. Make him apologize. Make him look like the weak little white man that she's trying to portray him as.
Then, of course, there's the power dynamic. Coach to player, man to woman. Miller's job is to lead, and instead, he chose to tear down. He chose to add to the worst conversation in women's sports, where style often trumps substance. Appearances hold unreasonable value, and women are sexualized, ranked for their hotness, sexiness, choice of outfit. If you're not conventionally hot, not conventionally sexy, not unconventionally petite, well, good luck. Good luck getting endorsement deals. Good luck keeping an opposing coach from cutting you down from the sideline, wrote The Guardian's Joe Neeson. A few hours after Miller said what he said, Cambage posted a video to the IG. She called the coach a little and said she'd just weighed herself, that she was proud of the number on the scale. She got the last word, except I hope it's not that.
I hope this ordeal can help shift this conversation in women's sports away from appearances and stereotypes and the perverse need to cut powerful women down to size. We're always hearing these talks and discussions and debates and liberal females on the media sites throwing tantrums about how there needs to be a shift in women's sports, how there needs to be more equality in the women workforce or whatever it may be. All of that shit that's not going to go anywhere. It's just giving them something to talk about. I've not, to this day, I've yet to seen an article, a documentary on how Shaq was body shamed for being called the most dominating center in the league. What do you mean he's called dominating? Is that because of his weight? But they don't care about that. This is supposed to be a big bitch that's comfortable in her skin, yet she just signed up for OnlyFans just to show her ass and nipples as if that's something to look at. If you're so secure in yourself, you wouldn't make a reply about how you're not secure or how somebody else is insecure, trying to say how you're 65 pounds over the weight that he guessed. Is this a big deal? Is this blown out of proportion? Liberal females are just toxic for no reason, but the media and everybody around them, specifically beta males and simps, tell them that everything is okay. They're not doing any wrong in the hopes of vagina, in the hopes of not hurting their feelings. So who's doing harm and who's doing good? The liberal females don't know any better, and bros just got to know that. You can't approach them like how you want to be approached. You can't talk to them how you want to be talked to. You can't be civil because they don't want that. The Western women are finished. You want to deal with that? You do as you choose. Chase the box. It is what it is. But like I said, there's no such thing as equality. It's all about preferential treatment. It's enough of that. I'm out.